local hero again. You've seen him a couple times before. Give a warm welcome to J W Butler.
Thank you. Got myself a beer this time. I don't know how I'm going to follow that. Oh, wasn't that great? Wasn't he great? Anyway, yes?
Yes.
Good. How are we all doing tonight? You want to enjoy yourselves? There's a lot of smiling faces out there. Brilliant. Well, I'd like to thank Jeremy for introducing me before I got on stage. Yes, I do look like a reject from The Big Bang Theory. So I didn't get that part. Now I'm just going to start off with a sweeping statement for everyone. Isn't it true, I know it's true in the UK, but isn't it true that the world is split into cat people and dog people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who likes dogs? Who prefers dogs? Who prefers cats? My people. Yes. Now, I've asked that question a few times to lots of people, and I've found that if you ask someone if they prefer cats or dogs, and they say, I like dogs, but I prefer cats. That's a perfectly valid, reasonable answer. But if you ask them that question, then they say, I love dogs because cats killed my family. Well, people like dogs and despise cats. Well, I love cats. I will see a stray cat on the street and chase it, come at it. And I will pick it up and there we go, new friend. To the extent they go around people's houses and they say, oh, that cat isn't very friendly. I'm like, watch. Before you know it, it's on its back in my arms. Now, I think this is going to give me some problems later on down the line, because if the tigers ever escape from the zoo, I'll be like, stand aside, I've got this. What's the worst that could happen? Englishman mauled to death by tigers when you're betrayed. But what's the worst that could happen? I've got to lubricate. Anyway, so I haven't had very much good luck with women. So, oh come on, you can do better than that. Give me some pity. Thank you. We're moving on to that part. Please don't spoil it for the rest of the class. I mean, I did get on very well with my ex-wife because she was a Sagittarius and I don't believe in bullshit, yes. So I decided to do what everyone in the UK does and found an Eastern European to take the job that no woman would. Introduce wife. We moved to Hungary in June last year, and we went about it in the typical way that I usually go through most of my life, which is like, fuck it, what's the worst that could happen? Well, let me tell you what happened. In March 2021, I broke both my elbows. Yeah, I tripped over and broke both my elbows. Dora had to wipe 2 arseholes. Proof, yet again, that Eastern Europeans take on the dirty jobs that English people won't. I'm going to move to the back of the stage now so we can bullshit. So let me tell you how we met. Well, I used to work as a wholesaler in the UK. So I would call up a customer, I'd get calls from electricians all the time. And every time they called up and every time they wanted to have a conversation, it would be, what football team do you support? And I used to go, I don't follow football. And then they would immediately assume that I had no personality and talk to me like shit. Yeah. I used to speak to an office in Budapest on the phone every day. That's how this happened. You know, this was hard work. So we decided to move, and I thought, I know, what's the best way to get from England to Hungary? I know, I'll drive. What's the worst that could happen? How am I going to take all my stuff? I'll buy a caravan that's 20 years old. What's the worst that could happen? I'll drive an overloaded caravan for 5 days across Europe France for the people in the back. Across Europe for 5 days, during COVID, post-Brexit, what's the worst that could happen? Well, we were in the middle of France, and we were going through one of these toll booths, and when you driving is pretty stressful, especially when you're in a different country and you're towing all of your worldly possessions behind you in a 20-year-old caravan. Pretty stressful, and on zero sleep as well. So we pulled up to this toll booth to go through in France, and Dora is on the back side of the vehicle, so she put her card in the machine, and the machine went, num, that's a lovely bank card. I'm not raising the barriers, so I had to press the call button, and even though my mum is a French teacher, every single word of French that I know just gone. I don't know where it went, so I ended up saying the following sentence: L'ordinateur, déjeuner, argent 4, which is quite literally computer. Thank you. Computer, lunch, money card. And the woman went, the machine's eating your card, hasn't it? Perfect. Like, oh, what a relief. So we managed to get through in the end. But when we were on the way through we had to go through Mont Blanc. And of course, with a 20-year-old caravan, I think the towing capacity of the caravan said, you can put 750 kilos in there. Have a guess how much I put in there?
900.
900? No, higher? 2,000, higher. 2,500 kilos with about another 100 kilos in the car, plus fuel. So there I was, going up the side of Mont Blanc in the Alps in second gear, smoke pissing out the bonnet because I burned the clutch out. French lorry drivers, who are historically not the politest of drivers on the road, hands welded on the horn. We managed to make it through. We got through to Italy, bit of a breather, hailstorm. Great, couldn't see, had to pull over the side of the road. And then we carried on for another few miles, and we thought, right, okay, let's have some rest. Let's go to sleep. Couldn't get in the caravan because it's got all the fucking furniture in it. So we just dropped the seats and just fell asleep in this car park that I'd found. Now, I'm going to ask someone a question. Now I'm going to pick on you. Do you mind? You've just gone through that horrible ordeal. You're in Italy. What do you want to be woken up by in the morning? Yes. Like a cup of coffee, or yeah. Have a guess what we were woken up by. 3 words. Angry Italian bin men. I parked in the depot where all of the garbage trucks were. Couldn't see in the rain and the sleet and everything. But fuck it. Everything will turn out all right. So finally we made it through to Hungary, and we crossed the border and we had a big celebration. And I'm very happy because now no one asks me what football team I support. Well, after telling that story, after driving all that way, I just had to sit down and have a coffee. And how do I like my coffee? Well, I like my coffee like I like my women. Ethically sourced from an Eastern Bloc country. Thank you very much, everyone. My name's J W Butler.